Monday, May 9th, 2022. All the facts you need to know for the Patriot on the Go. Patriots of the world, hope you're doing well. And if you do celebrate Victory Day, May 9th, which is celebrated in Russia, the celebration of the defeat of Nazi Germany by the Russian and Allied forces. Yeah. Big day there, big parade, a lot of celebrations. They honor their veterans. It's a very festive time, but not so festive right now with everything that's going on in the world. We'll get right into it. Announcements, none to make at this time. So let's go right to our items. This energy is about changing directions. There are many directions, but we see what we personally want to reform. Some people do not like change and respond to the need for change with aggression or arguments. In the world theater, the potential for false flags is higher. Mercury station retrograde at this degree implies the need for reform within the mainstream media itself. During the retrograde, many people will realize the media is telling the complete opposite of the truth. Truth breaks free from its stranglehold and steers the tide of world events in a new direction. This time, Mercury's retrograde works for the greatest advantage of we the people. Oh yeah, I loved reading that. How about that? A lot of people do not like Mercury retrograde, but this one, like she says here, this time, Mercury retrograde works for the greatest advantage of we the people. So, to June 2nd, we're looking at approximately a little over 3 weeks here, everyone. And according to the space weather and these energies, things are going to change. There's going to be a change in directions. And the media, they're going to be called out. And the people of the world are going to realize that they have been telling a lie, and the media is telling the complete opposite of the truth. Now, you're aware of this. You know this. And we see many examples of this in the conflict in Ukraine, economic situations going on, the geopolitical situation going on in the U.S. It's all lies. They come out and proclaim things, with these panels of experts that are 100 opposite of the truth, 100%, totally opposite of the truth. True clown world. But this is going to be rectified according to space weather here. So that is very good. So be of good cheer, people. This is what we're looking for. This change in the direction, because I will remind you that President Trump openly has said multiple times, the greatest enemy and threat to the American people, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, I added that part, but he said the greatest threat to this nation is the mainstream media. And he has said that more than once, and it's true. Psychological operations that they're pulling on the people and the lies have done so much harm to the world, to our society, to our nation, to everyone, to our economy, because of the lies. Because what it is, you have the few who want to control the many. They want to, mess with people's heads, make you think in a certain way so you fulfill their agenda. So anyway, but this is changing. Yes, this is great space weather. Very good. So be of good cheer, people, sometime between now and June 3rd, and probably every single day we're going to see this play out. Very, very good space weather. Well, they all are, but I like this one. Already, item 2, economics, currencies, cryptos, equities, and precious metals. Ooh, we got some anomalous stuff coming on right now. Taking a look at all the world markets, they are red. We have U.S. futures are down. We have European markets are down. We have Asian markets are down. They're all in the red. And some pretty higher percentages than we normally see. That's up in the 1, 2, 3%. So something anomalous is there, but check this out. Gold, silver, crude oil, they're all down also. This is 100% anomalous trading, people. Something's going on. Something is happening right now. We have gold at $1,867.70. We have silver at $21.83. Crude oil, 107.29, and that's down $2. But it's all in the red. So we're seeing all these downward trends in the commodities, gold, silver, oil, other commodities, and all the markets. And look at this. Cryptos down in a big way. We have losses of 4%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 6%, 7% in different ones I'm looking at here. I mean, we have some big downward trends in the cryptos. Bitcoin's currently at $33,019. That's down just this morning, 1,585. It's been down big over the weekend. We have XRP is at 53 cents right now. Take a look at Bitcoin Cash, 247.55. Litecoin, 88.55. That's down quite a bit, over 6%. Monero is down over 7% to $202.57. So, looking all across the markets, U.S. futures, Europe markets that are active, Asian markets that are active, the future markets, the commodities markets, and crypto, red, 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 red. Something's going on, people. This is an indicator. This is truly anomalous trading, and it's evidence that the Black Swan event is ongoing. Don't forget, too, the 7 trillion, trillion dollars that moved and was drained out of the bond market last week. Where'd that money go? That money wasn't lost. You know, I really like when they're always saying, you know, Dow Jones Industrial lost this much, or, you know, 401ks lost this much, or, you know, whatever market. No, that money's not lost. It's not like some broker somewhere had a grocery sack full of money and he left it in a cab. Oh, the money's lost. No, that money went somewhere, people. That money changed hands. Okay, this is you know, how they phrase it, like, oh boy, the market's lost this, and people lost this many percentages, and wow, that money was lost, and oh boy, all the value of that stock is lost. No, it's not. When you see stuff like that, it's not lost. It's in somebody else's pocket. It moves somewhere, okay? So when we're looking at $7 trillion loss in the bond market, that $7 trillion isn't lost, people. That $7 trillion went somewhere, okay? That's how it actually works. But anyway, that always gets me. Oh, my goodness, and it was all lost. No one, somebody's got it. And because that's just how the markets work, you know. But looking at all this, you know, what does this mean for us? You know, if you are invested in something, you have your hopes in something, you're hoping for major changes with currencies or different things, hold in there, because we're seeing evidence of this. We see the gold-backed ruble. We see China going gold-back. Oh, here's a little bit more interesting financial news. China put an invitation out to Argentina to be at the next BRICS meeting, which means they could potentially be on the slate to become part of the BRICS nations. And again, they're all using their own financial transfer systems, which is new. You know, between Russia, China, India, all these others, they are disconnected from the SWIFT. They're not using SWIFT anymore. They are using a new electronic financial system. Now, a lot of rumors about that. What could it be? Well, it is what you possibly think it is. And there are multiple names for this under multiple different agencies, nations, whatever. So things are changing. We know this. We get evidence of this. We have articles on this. We see the indicators of this. You have to sometimes kind of piece it together, but just know, because you don't see something overtly out there in the news doesn't mean that it's not going on. There's a lot going on economically behind the scenes. So stay of good cheer, patriots. Okay, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for good news. Be on the lookout to hear something you've been waiting on. All of a sudden is in action. Boom. Out of the blue. Surprise you, okay? So that is how that works. Just be on the lookout and know that you know that good things are coming to you and to those whom you love, because that's the way it works if you're looking for it. Alrighty, let's move right along here. Item 3, geopolitical. Yeah, taking a look at the geopolitical aspect of everything. Here in the United States, clown show continues. We actually had something pretty disturbing happen this weekend. We had reports that Justice Alito in the Supreme Court had to be relocated, and his family had been moved to a secure location because they're getting death threats. Yep, that's right. The loving liberal left are threatening to kill Supreme Court justices and their families because they want to reverse Roe versus Wade. So just because people will not be allowed on a federal level to kill babies, they want to kill the justices and their families. A lot of people want to do a lot of killing out there. It's crazy. Anyway, so clown show continues. That's all I'm going to cover. Well, I did see that Brandon's wife, Leiden, the occupier of the White House, the illegal occupier of the White House, sent his wife over, Dr. Jill, if you will, who, by the way, used to be his babysitter before his wife passed away. And, Dr. Jill was the babysitter. Anyway, another story for another day. No, I won't even tell that story. You can find it yourself. Anyway, she went over and met with the wife of Zelensky. Something's going on. Bono was over there and some other people, all kinds of celebrities and unusual people making trips over there. I personally believe all of this. They're acting as messengers, because in today's cyber world, unless you're in a skiff, you cannot transfer information around because foreign nations can get it. And we've seen this over and over and over and over with WikiLeaks, with different things that come out, leaked phone calls, everything. Right? Remember the president of the United States on a phone call? He wasn't even safe. It was all captured and then made public. You know, this happens time and time again. So when you see people like Jill or celebrities, I like to use celebrities a lot, they actually transfer messages, sometimes written messages, letters, whatever, to world leaders or members of world governments, so they can make plans and discuss things privately and relay it. So I'll guarantee you, she just didn't come over to say, hey, how you doing? You got a good cookie recipe? Here's some flowers. No. Yeah, that she was a messenger. That's what was going on with that. So be on the lookout, because like Space Weather said, next 3 weeks or so here, we're ripe for false flags, and it is going to heat up. Things are going to really speed up. Speaking of, that's enough for the clown show in the U.S. Let's go over again. Today is Victory Day, May 9th in Russia. The parade's already over. They are about 7 hours ahead of us. So it's actually 4 in the evening there. And I think the parade started 10 a.m. But they had the parade. They had to cancel some of the air part of it. They usually do an air show also. But because of cloud cover and there's certain restrictions on it, they couldn't safely do it. So they had to cancel that part. And it's not the first time. I think they canceled that in, when was that? 2017 was the last time they had to cancel that part. But we had Victory Day parades all over the world in different areas. You know, sadly, the Russian envoy to Poland actually went to lay flowers, lay down flowers at the tomb or the eternal flame of the missing soldier, you know, to commemorate those who died during World War II, and he was doused with paint and attacked. So that's really sad. I mean, you know, this anti-Russian hatred that we're seeing in the world is off the charts. And, you know, they've been erasing this stuff, too. I've seen people having conversations today about how history has basically been rewritten. You know, one gentleman was saying in England, you know, in their history books, he said even whenever he was younger, there was no mention of the Soviet Union, Russia, anything in World War II. All they're taught is that the United States saved England from the Germans. And that's not quite the fact. There was a group of allies, and one of the strongest allies was Russia. That's why we ended up with an East and West Germany, because Russia took one half on an assault, and the U.S. and Britain took the other half. It was a joint effort. And, of course, the Nazi Germany invaded Russia and drove Nazi Germany out of Russia out of the Ukraine area, actually, and all the way back to Russia, and then pursued them there with the Allies. And, it's such a shame to see this. And people, our history has been rewritten. There's like no words of this or talk about this in the history books here in the United States. Of course, the history books in the United States are really bad. Really bad. And if we get back to the American Revolution here, and I brought this up before too, if it wasn't for Russia, we probably wouldn't have won the American Revolution. Now, you'll see references in history books about France and France helping the United States, but you see nothing about Russia. And Russia did send warships over here. They sent over some ships with cannons, and they did a blockade now some of the harbors to keep the British Army from coming in. Plus, they brought money, supplies, humanitarian aid, military aid, and they helped. And that was all because John Adams actually went to Russia. He was traveling around Europe trying to get aid and help, commitment from these nations in Europe for the patriots of the 13 colonies who were trying to form a new nation. And France heeded the call and helped out, and so did Russia. But that's all been removed from the history books. So now we have this vehement hatred. I saw something sad too. They're very patriotic, and they honor their fallen really, reverently and with a lot of compassion. It's a big holiday, like I said, of remembrance and pride of defeat of the Nazi Germany.